Today we're going to talk about tricks that you can do on your next live Zoom magic show. Stay tuned. Hey guys, Alan with the Magic Minute here, where we take tricks and turn them into real magic. If you're new on the channel, I'm a full-time professional magician and I give my tips, tricks, and tutorials to help you elevate your magic to that next level. If that sounds cool to you, you might want to hit that subscribe button and that little bell icon, that way you don't miss a single video. The first trick on my list is silk to egg. This is a pure stand-up showpiece. You can include audience participation, and it often is, but no part of this trick has to be done with audience participation. They can watch and they can interact, and you can interact with them and ask them questions and joke with them, but they don't have to handle any of the props, they don't have to inspect anything. Everything looks fair and above board because it looks like you're teaching how a trick works. If you don't know about silk to egg, I'm going to leave a link down below for one of my favorite performances of it, which is by Lance Burton on The Tonight Show. Make sure you watch that and get some pointers on how he handles that and see that you don't need an audience member for it at all. Number two, the second trick that I would really recommend is invisible deck. If there's a way for you to take an invisible deck, if you're not familiar with this, I'll leave links for that too, but it allows you to let the audience name any card that they want. You can even have the audience, like each member of the audience, name a different part of the card, like maybe red or black, okay, well, black, okay, and then we go to the suit, okay, well, we have clubs and hearts, or clubs and spades, which ones do you want? Clubs, okay, high or low, right? And you can go through the audience and they can generate a random card just by asking different questions to each person, and then ultimately at the end when you open it up, that's the only card reversed in the deck. It's very impressive, beautiful trick that's usually done in close-up shows, but works excellently in this scenario. Trick number three that I would suggest is card through handkerchief. This is a very pretty, very visual penetration of a selected card through a handkerchief, through a solid handkerchief. If you want to see a good tutorial on that, I actually did one on Scam Nation a couple months ago. I will leave a link in the description for that. Number four is Professor's Nightmare. Professor's Nightmare is a rope effect where you have ropes of 3 different lengths, and through magic you can stretch them out to all equal the same length and then go back again. It is a very pretty trick. There is some nicety to being able to perform this with a volunteer so they can actually check the ropes to make sure they're solid and they're not stretchy or anything. But you can do that well enough by giving a tug and kind of demonstrating that yes, they are completely solid. Now before we get to number 5, I want to make sure that you guys stay till the end of the video, where I'm going to talk about some tips and tricks to make sure that your video quality in these streams is as good as it can be. I'll have some tips and tricks towards the end, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Trick number 5. This is actually something that I use all the time in close-up walk-around work. It is lawn chevries waxed. I'll leave a link for that down below, but if you guys are familiar with a Gypsy Thread, where you pull a length of thread, it's broken into several pieces, and then it magically just goes all back together. Oof. I can't think of a better version than waxed. It uses dental floss, and what's nice is there's no extra gimmicks, there's nothing extra to buy. After you learn how to do it, you can do it with just a cheap thing of dental wax, and it is beautiful and very easy to do, and it's something that I think that every magician should be using in their shows anyway, but it works especially well in a Zoom call. Go take a look. I've left a link down below, and just check it out. Now, I did tell you that whenever we got to the end, I would give you some tips and tricks. Being a YouTuber and working very hard to improve my video and audio quality constantly to give you guys the best that I possibly can, I have some tips and tricks on how to make your Zoom call the best that it can be. Lighting. This is not just, I'm not just in a room with normal ambient lighting. I have a very specialized piece of equipment, which is a softbox or shoot-through umbrella video light that's made just for this. Backdrop is important. Composition in the scene, trying to get it to look visually interesting. I'll leave some links for some videos on cinematic lighting or things that you can do to try to make your backdrop look as interesting as possible, as well as links to some of the video equipment that I use and how to use it. Some things that you might want to also consider is if you're streaming this, you're probably either streaming this on your phone, in which case great, most phones have great video quality. Make sure that you leave it plugged in while you're doing your stream. The worst thing that could happen is that your battery dies in the middle of your show. If you're doing this on a webcam, you know, as much as I love Apple's webcams are not the greatest. Built-in webcams on Apple computers still are kind of terrible. You might want to consider investing in a higher quality webcam. I use something called a C920 by Logitech, link in the description. It's a high definition, high quality video camera, and it works great for what I use it for. The other thing you're gonna really wanna worry about is audio. Audio is even more important than video. People will watch a badly lit, crummy video, but they will not watch something that has a terrible hiss or whine or where they can't hear you. So you need to really look at how you're handling audio during these shows. I use this is called a Wireless Go. This is made by Rode, and this works very well. You can plug it into a phone with an adapter, or I also use this guy if you're seated at a desk or doing some kind of close-up next to the camera thing. And this is a Blue Yeti, and I will leave a link for that down below too. But make sure you familiarize yourself with different video, lighting, and audio equipment so that way you can put out the best video that you possibly can. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with your magic friends, and click on one of these little videos over here because you'll probably like one of those too. Thanks for watching.